Well, the leaks to the last chapter of Oshi no Ko are finally here. It's been a fun ride, and now we can see how it all ends. Of course, shout out to Donut one last time for always getting us these leaks. Bro is definitely one of the best in the game, and I know he's going to be enjoying retirement now. As for the chapter though, we first got an image of the color page, although it's cropped. It's cool that it's on the color page though, as she's barely even mentioned in the chapter, even with the extra 7 pages we got. I'm just happy we even got extra pages though, 25 pages to be exact. The chapter itself begins with Akane remembering everything that happened after the last chapter. She says the world is cruel, and explains how Ruby could not stop crying after Aqua died, but still managed to stand up and push herself forward with renewed determination. But like, what renewed determination? I don't mind if Ruby moves on eventually, but where is she getting this determination from so quickly? It seems a bit unrealistic that she's able to move on so fast. I do think Memcho's reaction is more realistic as she actually became dispirited enough to consider stopping activities like streaming. Kana is surprisingly the one to convince her otherwise. The thing with Kana is that she told Aqua that she would forget about him. So while it is weird Kana seems to have gotten over him the fastest, she did keep her word too. Apparently the 3 members of Bikomachi reunited briefly to spend time with each other. Either way, life just moved on with the girls watching on silently as Melt trained with tears in his eyes. Thankfully we got to see Taiki briefly too, as we see him sweep his little bro's grave, while Kana confronts the paparazzi that were harassing Ruby. The reason I say Melt instead of Payon is because it was a mistake on Donut's part here. Miyako as their mother also pulled herself together, allowing Bikomachi to resume their activities. Kana put her all into acting, while Akane participated in variety shows. Even surprise pranks couldn't faze Akane anymore, which sorta indicates that she's become a bit more emotionless and serious since Aqua's death. It would make sense since she's the only one carrying the truth about Aqua's death with her. The emotional weight that comes with that must be immense. She might never tell anyone how Aqua actually sacrificed his life to take down Hikaru and protect Ruby. Tsukiyomi knows the truth, but that little fraud girl is nowhere to be found in this chapter. In the end, she was just there to yap and watch Aqua die. It's actually thanks to Aqua's death and Hikaru being a murderer, people believed Ruby had a story to tell, and became captivated by her. Not gonna lie though, I feel like that kinda hurts Ruby more than it helps her. It's like saying Aqua and Hikaru's actions is what pushed Ruby's popularity to new heights, rather than Ruby getting there herself. Although, perhaps it's Ruby's will to keep pushing forward as an idol is what captivated people. Ultimately, Bikomachi is finally able to achieve I and Ruby's dream of performing at the Dome, and they also added 2 other girls to the performance, while Akane and Kana cheered from the audience. Meanwhile, Ruby stands firm on stage, and then we get some quote about how Ruby was like the morning star, illuminating the darkness and lighting up the little girl, hidden in the shadow of the stage, like I once did for Serena. I do like how it came back around, almost like the cycle continues in a way, and maybe that little girl will one day be an idol too. An even crazier theory will be that little girl we see is actually who becomes the Crow Girl, and the one we always saw was a version of her that exists out of time as a deity, which is why she knew Aqua was destined to die. I doubt that's actually the case due to some possible plot holes, but it'll probably be better than nothing when it comes to Tsukiyomi. Finally though, we're near the end of the chapter. It's exactly 5:30 in the morning, and we are shown Aqua and I themed merchandise on Ruby's desk. Aqua didn't get to be famous for too long, but it is pretty cool how he was able to get some merchandise made for him, probably due to the 15-year line movie. As for Ruby, she says that she's off to work again, and that every day is filled with lies, yet no matter how painful it is, she has to smile on stage. Even so, the job of being an idol brings her unparalleled joy. This is the future illuminated by Aqua and I for Ruby, and with that, Ruby finally heads out the door. In a way, it's like Ruby was able to say her final words of the story to Aqua and I through the merchandise, which is bittersweet I guess. This is also probably a reference to the door we saw Ruby run into in the season 2 ending. On the other side of that door is the future illuminated for her by Aqua and I. To be honest, I don't really know how to feel about the ending right now. I don't think it's the worst ending of all time, but it could be better too. Obviously having the official chapter will help, and I think everyone should wait for that before making their opinions, like for the JJK ending, which got a bit better for me once I saw a certain conversation at the end, which I won't spoil. This is definitely one of those life moves on endings too, for the main characters, which does kinda suck since I prefer seeing a bit more of the future to get some definite closure on the characters and how they lived. As for Ruby, my complaint was that we should have seen her suffering more, but I guess she'll always be suffering internally, but is able to hide her pain well through lies. That's gonna be it for me for now though, as I'm still trying to sort out my thoughts on the ending. Of course, I'll go much more into detail for my final Oshi no Ko review. What do y'all think about the ending so far though? Is this a masterpiece, mid, or worst ending ever for you? Let me know in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and subscribe. I got some more Oshi no Ko Kateira too that you can check out. Peace.